When you speak to project managers, you can hear horror stories about web developers they have to work with. You hear how some developers are rude to the clients and they can't take them to the meetings. And you hear how developers make the worst excuses for not doing things and how they are rude to customers via the email. Really, this is not a good way to be. And it surely does not make you more employable. Having communication skills as an engineer will do a lot for you as a person, and it will also have a huge impact on your work and your career. If you're a person people like to work with, then they will want to work more with you, hire you, and recommend you to other employees. And yes, they will more easily give you a promotion. And they will say nice things about you when you do a job interview elsewhere. So yes, you need to have a good knowledge stack. And it's not just technology. Communication skills are the second pillar for your success. There is one strategy that you must use if you want people to listen to you. Listen to them. Regardless if you have all the information and even if this is a formal meeting with you standing in front of 20 suits. One thing is true. If you don't listen to them, they won't listen to you. Developing software is a team project. The worst project teams are those that appear bad-tempered and sulky. You can just feel team members are not revealing one's thoughts and feelings readily. They hold meetings with no structure, when no one wants to talk and no one wants to listen. Everyone has its own agenda and is not willing to share it. You can see there is no listening and no understanding. Also, in this kind of a team, there is no cooperation. On the other hand, great project teams have a lively personality. People look forward to meetings, and they come well prepared. And the meetings make them feel good, appreciated, valued and heard. And this is what makes people motivated. You can also see team members with humor in these kind of teams. If you want to work better one-on-one or in a team, there is the number one skill you need to master. It will be best if you become a great active listener. So how to be a great active listener? If the person you speak with feels that his or her message came across and they feel they were heard and understood, then they will be more open to listen to your version of the story. If you want to be heard, you need to listen first. Being a great active listener is the way to get what you want. Chris Voss, the ex-leading FBI negotiator, says this: "What's it going to take to get the hostage taker to come out? He'll tell you." But you have to learn to do more than just listen passively or try to talk them into anything. You have to work with what you get out of them to make a deal. In other words, you need to listen to them if you want them to do what you want. And maybe, if you listen to them, they might even introduce a solution that is better than yours. It can happen. It's not about who has a bigger ego and who wins. It's about working effectively together and learn to get better. You cannot do that if you think you already have all the answers. Some research suggests that 60% of people who consider themselves as good listeners tend to underperform. Their overconfidence prevents their success. The overconfidence stops them from truly understanding the motivation of the other side. If you think you know it all, you are the one who is losing. As Albert Einstein says in his famous quote, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know." The same goes for conversation. You might think you know what the other side is thinking, and you might even interpret everything they say as a confirmation of what you believed before the talk. This is called confirmation bias. Wikipedia defines it as: confirmation bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, favor and recall information in a way that confirms or strengthens one's prior personal beliefs or hypotheses. It's a type of cognitive bias. Nothing puts a relationship in danger faster than poor listening. It does not take long for the other side to estimate your commitment to listening. Did you know that only 7% of the message is about the words you say? The other 23% is the delivery. It's not easy to convince someone else that you are listening if in fact you are not. Listening to respond versus listening to understand. There is a very thin line between listening to understand and listening to respond. When we listen to respond, we are looking for flaws in what the other is saying. When we find that flaw, then we are just waiting to interrupt them. If they stay out of breath, then this is our chance to point out how wrong they are in comparison to our beliefs. We all do this. I'm no different. The only way to stop it is to be conscious of it. Once you know you are doing it, then you can catch yourself doing it. And when you do, you stop. You stop once, twice, every time you tend to do so. You lose so much valuable information if you don't. I know that I have to stop myself from doing this, especially when I feel as though the other person is so off base that I have to straighten them out ASAP. I'm guessing no coder ever had that feeling before. Have you ever experienced that you try to get someone on the same page as you, and the first chance they get to talk back, everything they say is argumentative and clearly the beginning of a debate over issues? What makes us think we can do the same to others? Listening to understand is basically the same as active listening. Here are some tips to help you be an active listener. Have a curious mind. Don't assume and make shortcuts. And when the other person speaks, repeat the last few words they say. Say them in a curious tone and stay silent. You don't want to add more questions here. Just repeat the last 3 words and shut up. This will make the other party want to explain and elaborate on what they were saying. Then use calibrated questions. Ask questions that start with what and how. How can we resolve this? What steps did you try so far to resolve this? And don't ask why questions. Do you remember when you were a child and your mom started screaming at you, "Why did you break that thing?" When you ask a coworker, "Why did you use this library?" it comes off as an accusation, even if so well intended. It's better to ask, what are the positive traits of this library? And don't use "I understand" when they explain. The real problem with "I understand" response is that people use it as a poor shortcut to really understanding the other person. "I understand" usually has a but stick to it. It comes off as "I understand, but listen to what I have to say now." When we hear the other say "I understand" to us, they usually have no concept of what our problem or issue really is. They just want us to stop talking so they can tell us their opinion. This shows they did not hear a word and they have not taken it into an account. For some strange reason, they expect us to think we have been hurt. They are doing more damage to communication than they realize. We don't need to do the same. If you want to show that you are listening, use short confirmations like yes, okay, or try to rephrase with sentences like, "It seems like you want," "It looks like it makes you," "You seem like you are frustrated with." These are the phrases that leave an option that you might be wrong. And most important, it leaves you out of the question. It's not about you, it's about them. You will get your turn. Then summarize, summarize, summarize. Once you have gotten a true picture of what their viewpoint is, the next step is to repeat back to them what their word looks like. You will get your turn to speak when the other party says, "That's right." When they say "That's right," you know you have nailed it. But don't get confused. "You're right" and "That's right" are way different. When they say "You're right," they just want to get rid of you. They want you to leave them alone. And when you have demonstrated your active listening skills, it is your turn to speak about your views of the matter. And when the other party feels confident that you have listened to and understood their point of view, they will be more willing to listen to you. And they will want to be more open to cooperate with you. And even agree that your way is the best way. This is where you want to be. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I post new content every week. Have a great day. Bye bye.